On March 18, 2003, just hours before the invasion of Iraq, a quiet operation began in Baghdad. At 4 a.m., a convoy of trucks arrived at the Central Bank of Iraq. There were no guns, no alarms, and no robbery crew. A messenger for Qusay Hussein handed the bank governor a handwritten order from Saddam Hussein that read, "Release $920 million to Qusay Saddam Hussein." Plain and simple. The money, according to the order, was being removed to prevent it from falling into enemy hands as war approached. Within hours, nearly $1 billion in cash was loaded onto trucks and driven away. No resistance, no alarms. No police chase, just a single handwritten command, creating the largest bank heist ever recorded in history. Meet the mastermind, Qusay Hussein, the second son of Saddam Hussein and the head of Iraqi security. He arrived at the bank accompanied by Abid al-Hamid Mahmoud, his father's personal assistant. Qusay didn't need to break into the vault. He carried a note signed by Saddam Hussein himself. The reason given? A national emergency. The claim was that the money needed to be moved to a secret location to keep it out of the hands of the invading crusaders. In a country where the Hussein family's word was law, the bank officials didn't ask questions. One official later said, "And when you get an order from Saddam Hussein, you do not discuss it. Believe me." Now, let's talk about the sheer physics of this crime. You can't fit $1 billion in a suitcase. The loot consisted of $900 million in American, 100 bills, and another $100 million in euros. In $100 bills, $1 million weighs about 22 pounds. $1 billion? That's over 22,000 pounds or 11 tons of paper. It took a team of workers nearly 5 hours to manually stack the metal trunks into 3 massive tractor trailers. As the sun began to rise over Baghdad, the trucks drove away. By the time the bank opened for regular business at 9 a.m., 1/4 of Iraq's entire currency reserve had simply vanished. A few weeks later, the Baghdad regime collapsed. While searching one of Saddam's palaces, U.S. troops from the 101st Airborne discovered a false wall. Behind it, they found roughly $650 million in crisp $100 bills. At first, they thought they'd found the stolen loot. But there was a problem. Serial numbers suggested this was actually a different stash of money. Of the original $1 billion taken by Qusay, only a fraction was ever officially accounted for. Intelligence reports suggested the trucks were seen crossing the border into Syria. To this day, over $350 million remains missing, likely used to fund the years of insurgency that followed. Qusay Hussein never got to spend his share. He was killed in a massive shootout with U.S. forces in Mosul in July 2003. But his heist set a record that has never been broken. Who knew the deadliest weapon in a bank heist isn't a gun or a drill? It's a signature from the boss at 4 a.m.